Hi, Mel.
Hi, Kira.
Welcome back to another episode of Quiet Please. JJ Spaun is the winner of the
Dude.
U.S. Open. It's been a crazy week.
Wasn't that unbelievable?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I was watching, or I wasn't watching. I was frantically updating my phone on the plane because I did the early shift that day and then I was able to get out of town. But I just was constantly updating. And to see what he did coming down the stretch was psycho.
I was the exact same. I was at the airport, literally on my flight, and as we took off, he hit the putt, and I was like, don't you dare cut out. And it literally, as it went in, and he like threw his putter, my phone cut out. So I did get to see it, but it was
Perfect.
I mean, so we said earlier on in the pod, like last week, about how I thought that it wasn't going to be as brutal. It was. I was wrong. It was brutal.
Well, I feel like I was actually thinking about that because early in the week, I was thinking that you were onto something because the rough was not as crazy as it was on that Monday when a couple of the guys went up to play on golf's longest day, and the greens that day were running at like a 16, and for the championship, obviously they slowed them down just a little bit. So compared to what I was initially hearing versus what it actually ended up being, it was not as horrible. But yeah, I mean, in general, it was the craziest US Open setup I'd ever seen.
Yeah. And for him to win, I think, just his story, like how he almost missed his card middle of last year, I think it was, or 2 years. I think it was last year.
Last year, June, yeah.
Yeah. Like he was like, oh, what else am I going to do? Like I've had a good run 8 years out here. And then for him to get his card, and then he almost won the Players against Rory. And then he started with 5 over through 6. He said that one of his daughters was being sick at like 3 a.m. He had to go to like CVS.
The ultimate dad thing.
The ultimate
on Father's
dad.
Day.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how you can't like root for him. You know what I mean? Like, how can you not root for the underdog? I mean, it's literally changed his life. So I was just fired up for him. I just thought it was awesome with his coach and his caddy and his team, his family all there. Yeah, it was just. Do you know what I found actually quite funny? And like we don't need to get into it, but the way that like Rory was that week with the media and then him, I just thought, what complete. I know they're opposite anyway, but I don't know. I just like Rory could not be less interested, I feel like. And then you have someone like JJ Spaun who fighting for every single thing and gets it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, it's complicated. Rory's going through some things. I think there's a lot of stuff, but
which is probably none of our business, to be honest. Do you know what I mean?
No.
And I think that he needs to find a new purpose. We were saying that live on air.
To his credit, he did end up speaking on Saturday evening. And it wasn't the best press conference. I think that part of that is that he just says what he feels, which is why the media love him in the first place. And he just is peeved. And on Sunday morning, so I had the lovely job of doing pre-round interviews on the range, which is it's kind of an uncomfortable position because on Saturday, the guys are like still in it, still think that they have a chance. It's moving day. They can move up the leaderboard. And on Sunday, if you're doing the pre-range interview, it means that you have no chance to win because that's the window of time in which I'm there. Yeah. The people that are warming up at that time, they're 10 shots back. You're not making up 10 shots at Oakmont. Yeah. So the reason that I'm there to talk to you is because you're a loser.
Yeah.
But he did a pre-round interview with me on the range, which was very nice of him.
That is nice.
I asked him what would constitute a good day on the golf course, and he said, I just want to shoot under par. And he went out and shot 3 under.
Yep.
So maybe more people should be doing range interviews is my takeaway.
There you go. Especially with you. Yes, I did feature group with him.
Okay. So JJ goes out, he goes out in 40 on his front nine. Doesn't do great. And then around the time they're making the turn, the rain happens. They get pulled off the golf course for like 2 hours or something like that. Crazy, godlike rain. And then he goes back out and ends up coming down the stretch, going birdie on 17, 18. 17, he hits the best tee shot of his life, makes the putt. Yep. I mean, that was insane. He would have won just with that because all he needed was par on the last. And then, of course, on the last, he sinks the 64-foot putt for birdie. The longest putt made in the entire week of the U.S. Open.
That's nuts, isn't it?
And yeah, and of course, chaos ensues. And I mean, you love to see it happen to an underdog, and It was wild. It was
It was,
exactly what you want in a US
yeah,
Open.
it was just, yeah, it was nuts. And I think a lot of people were also pulling for Adam Scott, weren't they? I felt bad for him. Like he didn't play
Mm,
great on Sunday, but I mean, there was
no.
footage of him in the locker room, like being just unreal with JJ Spaun, like hugging
Yeah.
him and saying like, dude, great job. And just like talking about the putt and stuff. So yeah, look, it was an awesome, I think I love the US Open. I love not seeing the guys struggle, but I like to see like them see some adversity, I guess. I think that these guys are so good and it really does test their mental game more than anything. I know that's so obvious to say, but it really does. It is honestly who is the last man standing because everyone is getting beat up that entire week. And nobody would have picked JJ Spaun. And the fact that he did it, I think I just think it's a fairy tale story, in my opinion.
Yeah, you have to do something completely. You're so right. You have to do something remarkable to stand there at the end.
Yeah.
You have to be absolutely remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. So he just started working with his new putting coach, Josh Gregory, who's one of my favorite people on tour. Because he always like wants to chat, always is like giving me shit about not playing well out of the bunker and that sort of stuff. And so I was talking to Josh, and he was like, "JJ's not afraid. He is not afraid of this moment. Maybe he was a little bit more afraid of it." Even at the players, and he's definitely been afraid of it throughout his career. This was the first time that he got into the US Open without having to go through qualifying. And then
No
the one
way.
time that he got through qualifying was for Torrey Pines and he missed the cut. So it was only his
Right.
second US Open. And he
That's
got, because he's been playing
nuts.
so well this year, he got in on his own number and his world ranking. He's ranked like 25th in the world. I'm sure that ranking has gone way up now. And he's probably going to be on the Ryder Cup team. So, I mean, it's just the fact that he has accomplished all this in the context of what he's been through. He's 34 years old. Oh yeah, also, he is a type 1 diabetic.
Oh, yes. I heard your
And
little
in
thing on this.
28 Yes, so in 2018 he was misdiagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, and they messed up all of his medications, and he was really ill, and it took him out of the game for 2 years to
No
get back
way.
to
Oh,
baseline, to
wow.
be able to monitor all of that. And
Oh, that's
I mean,
crazy.
that probably took like 2 or 3 years away from his professional career.
Wow. Even better story then. I just think it was a fairy tale win. I mean, it was awesome. It was great to watch. And I enjoyed it as a spectator. I think that whenever some tournaments you're just like, oh, that was a bit blah. Like this one just wasn't.
Mhm.
So
It
yeah, I
had
enjoyed it.
moments of blah earlier in the
Well, it's funny you say
week.
that because now we're going to get into our weeks. I was doing featured groups
Mhm.
up in Stanford, and it was kind of crazy. So who's the first group that I think I did Shane Larry's group. So it was Shane Larry and Friday,
Oh
Rory
boy.
McIlroy and Justin Rose. And for a group of players of that caliber, I cannot tell you how flat it was. Like it was
I mean, they
so
played
hard
so
to.
bad.
They played so bad. They couldn't have guessed less. I guess they didn't. Justin Rose was the only one that I felt like didn't really give up. Like I felt like Shane. I say give up. They just were beaten down so badly by the golf course that it just seemed like
Did
they
you do
just.
them both days? You had them both days?
No, I had Colin Morikawa's group the first day, and then I did Rory's group kind of the next three. So
Oh, so that was
I
the
did
day that Shane picked up his
Shane
ball
picked up
without
his
marking you?
ball. That was actually quite funny. But yeah, I feel like it was wild, like how such an awesome group like that, like even the crowd and stuff, it was just so flat. It was
Uh,
crazy. Like you never hear that with a big group like that. I don't know, but that's just how much the golf course beat these guys up. Like it was just like they weren't even talking to each other. Like it was like they just had no energy.
just
It
so
was a lot.
depressed.
I know. And like I'm trying to say things on air and nobody, like I'm saying a bunch of British slang as well. And so my coworker was just like, what the fuck are you saying? So,
Who are you working with?
so I worked with Steve Burko. Do you know who that is? Yeah. Justin
Burkowski, yeah.
Kutcher. Yeah. And yeah. So it was good. I kind of had a mixture of them too. So it was good fun. But yeah, good guys actually to work with. Enjoyed it. And Wags was on the course during that one as
Oh,
well. So yeah, it
perfect.
was good. We enjoyed it.
How was your weekend? What did you do Saturday, Sunday?
I did 2 groups on Saturday, and then yesterday I did Rory's group. I finished with him on 15, and then I just went to the airport. Well, I didn't go to
Oh,
the
nice.
airport, actually. I went to a pub to have lunch, and then I went to the airport because my flight was until 8. So yeah, but we did that. We went on holiday for 3 days, didn't we? And the weather was shit.
It never got better?
It was shit. The one day it
Down the
got better
shore?
was no, Monday, Tuesday was absolute dog shit, and then Wednesday was a nice day, and we went to the Phillies game. We took Kai to the Phillies game. We went to a
Those
place
pictures
called
were so cute.
I know, I swear Carly only goes for the
So
pictures.
cute.
I've not been to a Phillies game, and it was Kai's first Phillies game, so that was fun, and that was the only nice day, and then I drove up to Stamford on Thursday morning. Just never stops, Kira. Never
I know, you're
stops.
telling me. Yeah, I had a crazy week. I was working the first few days, doing live from. So those shows start fairly early. So you get there, you do a hit, and then you're running around
Mhm.
reporting. You're running around trying to get people to talk to you, trying to get sound with players. You create all your own content. People always think that, there's a producer that's out there with you or helping you. I mean, and it is collaborative. So to give lots of credit to our staff, but you are in charge of that and you're
Mhm.
figuring out what you want to say. You're pitching stories. Um, so I spent, the first Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday doing that. And then Thursday and Friday, I got to do early interviews. I got to do an interview with JJ on
Oh.
Thursday, which was really cool. And then Saturday, Sunday, I was doing those range interviews, and then I was out on Sunday. That was my shift was only till 1 o'clock, but we were there at like 4:30 in the morning every day
Oh
because of the
my
early
god.
live from shows. So that was
What time was
that
your
was
live from
brutal.
shows then? 7?
On the first day it was at 8, so we were there at 5:30, and then the
Yeah.
second day was at 7, so we were there at 4:30.
Yeah.
It
Because you have
was
to have production
I can't
meetings and all
say
that.
oh yeah, I can't say I looked particularly
Oh,
cute. Those
stop
weren't
it.
my cutest TV days.
Is it true that the
But I
hotel was like an
had
hour away?
with traffic, yeah, the
Yeah,
traffic outside the course
dude.
was insane.
I
I mean,
heard
at
that.
4:30 in the morning, it took me 27 minutes to get to the course.
Right.
At 5 o'clock in the afternoon to get back to the hotel because it was downtown Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a lovely city, by the way. I had
I've
never
never
been to
been.
Pittsburgh.
Never been.
It has all these rivers that intersect throughout the city and all these really cool bridges that are painted bright yellow or just
Oh, that's
really
cool.
beautiful landscape in Pittsburgh. I did not know that. I was not familiar with its
No, I'm
game.
not. Very
So
nice.
yeah, and I ended up like, I always look for a Whole Foods. I ended up finding
Mhm.
these cute historic neighborhoods that had these gorgeous historic homes all around the Whole
Oh,
Foods.
nice.
So it was cool. I had lots of people come up to me and say they listen to the pod,
Yay.
which was really fun.
That is fun. It's always fun,
So
isn't it?
it's yeah, it's weird.
Why? Because we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, it's
Can we
fun.
just have a chat?
I love it. Yeah. Well, I had so much fun with Posh Anna. Anna
Oh, I'm with
Jackson.
Anna this week. I'm with Anna in KPMG. I'm leaving today, so I get to spend time with Anna Jackson. Oh, I can't wait. She is posh, isn't she?
Mhm.
Like, she speaks
No,
very differently to me.
but
Yes, she is. She speaks way differently to me.
I think that Cara is much more
Oh
posh.
God, no, Cara's different. No, Cara's way different level. Yeah. No,
This is Cara
Cara's
Banks. So if you
Cara's the
Cara
queen
Banks
of
also
posh.
works for the Golf Channel.
Yeah, who's
She is
fucking
so
awesome, by the way.
fabulous.
She is one of my
Yeah,
favorite people.
She, I she is one of those people that just she knows what she wants. She's got 3 kids.
Yeah,
She makes anything happen. She is a force of nature. She's so good at her
yeah,
job. She has this ability to remember stats and fun facts about players and she weaves them in perfectly into all of her questions. She's like goals. And she's always so helpful and
yeah,
willing to give advice. And I kind of do a similar job. Like she could see me as, oh, I don't want to
yeah,
uh help her. And she's so confident in herself that she knows that if any help that she gives me, it's not ever going to take away from her
yeah,
because she's so confident in what she does. And that like I wish that everybody was like that.
yeah. It's actually funny. I spent a bit of time with her at the US Women's Open because we just had dinner a few nights, and I've known Cara for years. And I actually, me and Carly were talking about it in ShopRite actually, and I was talking about Cara. I was just saying like how much I love the people that I work with, and I said Cara's one of them people who just make you feel very at ease and very comfortable around her because she's so confident and she's so lovely and
Mhm.
she is, like you said,
Mhm.
so like I can talk to her about anything. Like the conversations we were having, it was actually very like in depth, like girly conversations, and it was just me, her, and Anna, and I think it was Stups was there as well, and it was just so. Sometimes you can have them conversations and you walk away going, "Oh, did I share too much?" Like, I don't feel that with them,
Yeah.
but especially with Cara. Like,
Yeah.
Cara's just so, she just makes me feel very at ease and very comfortable. And I think that that's one of the biggest compliments you can ever give someone. Like, she's just an
She's
awesome
so
person to
matter
be
of
around.
fact.
Yeah, she's just, there's no bullshit. Like, she's just, but not
No.
in a aggressive way, like in a, just a confident way. And I just
Yeah.
love, I actually feel like I learn a lot just talking to her about even just normal things. So she's just
Same.
one of them. I think she's one of the coolest people I've ever met. I really do. I think she's awesome.
And
So yeah.
posh.
And so very posh. Yes. Very
So
posh. Talking of posh, you're going to a posh place.
Oh, yeah.
When are you leaving
I'm
for
going
London?
on Thursday.
Oh, you
So if you're listening to the
lucky bitch.
pod, today is Wednesday. I'm leaving tomorrow
Oh, I always get homesick this time of year, you know.
because the weather gets really nice and lovely.
Yeah, and everyone's in the beer gardens, and I'm looking at the countryside, and I'm like edgy. I like need to go home now. Like, I need to be back in England this time of year.
So I'll tell England you said hello. What should I be doing?
Pretty much wherever you go, like just go and find like the cool little, like there's a bar in it's like a pub, and it's this, I think it's the skinniest pub in London, and it's really cool actually. And then there's just loads of cool bars. Like wherever you go, just go to a pub though. Don't go to a bar is very different.
Yeah, I want to go to a pub and order like a chicken pot pie or something.
Yeah,
I feel like that's something
steak and
I'm gonna
Guinness
do.
pie. Yeah, chicken and leek
Okay,
pie.
sorry.
Chicken and leek pie.
Chicken and leek.
Yes. Yeah. So you cannot go
I
wrong
won't say
with
chicken pot
pubs.
pie. I'll out myself as an American because they definitely couldn't tell otherwise.
Yeah. There you go. It's a shame you're not staying longer. I would have told you to go and stay at my dad's. And you would have had some amazing walks in the Peak District. I could have showed you some unreal walks, hikes and stuff.
So next trip,
well, we should plan it together. And I'll just host you at my dad's, and you get the whole upstairs.
Mel,
Yeah,
no
you'd
casual
love it.
offers.
No, honestly, my dad would, he would lose his mind. He would lose his mind. His fake teeth will fall out.
Great. I can't wait. Next summer.
Let's do it. Good for you. Oh, I'm so jealous. Fuck. Just go to a beer garden, Kira. You just have to experience a beer garden. Just go to any pub with an outdoor.
Wait, I'm going to write it down right now. Beer garden.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Like go around
Andrew
Sunningdale
keeps
and
suggesting Sunningdale. Okay.
Yeah, just go around
Andrew
Sunningdale.
keeps suggesting this trip to London. I don't know what has gotten in his bonnet about London.
I'll tell you another good one day trip.
Speaking of Andrew,
St Albans. Sorry.
St. Auburn's.
Yeah, that's a cool
St.
day
Auburn's?
trip. That's like a 30-minute train. It's north. It's beautiful. It's like the most, like, I don't know what you call it, but like the most, like where people want to live in the UK. It's like the happiest people or something. Yeah, it's like St. Albans, and it's got great bars there, pubs.
Perfect.
Talking of Andrew,
I was just going to tell you, I had a long travel day yesterday, a 6-hour flight after having worked all day. And my favorite pizza place in our neighborhood is this place called Goat Hill Pizza, and it's a sourdough crust. Ooh. And I like live for this stuff. And he had a large Goat Hill Italian sausage pizza waiting for me.
Oh my God. What a man. Isn't that the best though? You know, when you've been away and you just like, you just want, you want to sit on your sofa, don't you? And just have your favorite food. And that's awesome. That's very cute.
That's what we did. And we watched a couple episodes of, there's a show on Netflix. I think it's called Four Seasons or Seasons or something like that. It's the Tina Fey,
is it good?
Steve Carell. It's so cute.
Okay.
It's a perfect,
I want to watch
just
it.
light, funny. You know, I don't like very dramatic television unless it's Love Island. So it just
exactly.
Which, speaking of, Mel, the DMs on the Instagram account, people were loving your glossary, Love Island. Glossary.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
So
yeah, I was actually saying a lot of things on air. I don't know what got into me. I was saying a lot of things on air, very British, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I was following the British, like the European lads or what, but honestly, Justin was just like what is that? Like, and so, yeah.
What's that? What is that? What was that one term where like, pipey? No. Stroppy? No.
Mardy?
He's getting a little, shit. Well, it's like you went to you had too much to drink and you were getting a little blah
Larry.
blah and your friend
Larry.
Larry. You
Yeah.
say, oh, that Shane is getting a little Larry. Shane
Larry.
Larry, not Shane Lowry.
Yeah, Larry. Larry. Yeah, what did I
Sorry,
say
it took
last
me so
week?
long to get there. My brain is a little.
What did I say? I said, oh, like when the weather was coming in, I said, oh, it's a bit black over Bill's mother. And like, that's what we say when it's like really dark. It's looking
Who's
a bit
Bill?
black. Don't know, I met him. I said, oh, he's got a bit of a niggle. I said niggle.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah. I said it's raining cats and dogs. I think you guys say that. I said something else. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know why I'm feeling extra British at the minute.
Yeah. You're just missing home. That's
I'm just missing home, yeah. But we get to go in a couple of months, so I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Your friend Carlotta won on the LPGA last week.
Yes, she did. 9 years it took her. Incredible.
What?
Yeah, since her last win, 9 fucking years.
Oh my gosh.
Been pissing around
Can you
for
imagine
9 years.
grinding that long? Oh my God.
Dude,
Well, you can't imagine.
She's
but-
she's so fucking good. And her
It's
attitude
Carlota
is so
Ciganda,
good. Yeah.
for those that
Carlota Chiggy,
don't know.
one of my best friends. We're actually going to their wedding the week before Christmas in Spain.
Where's the wedding?
Pamplona. You know where they do the running the bulls?
The running of the bulls.
Yeah, that's where she lives. She's like the
She
queen.
still lives there?
No, she doesn't live there. Sorry, that was a lie. She lives in Arizona, but her family all still live in Pamplona. So that would make sense.
I was going to say, wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive that she's still maintaining a full LPGA schedule being based in Spain. I mean, people do it. A lot of caddies live in the UK.
Charlie does.
Still.
Georgia does. Bronte does. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
So yeah, 9 years it took her. But she finally got it done. I thought she was coming to form. I actually thought she was going to have a really good US Women's Open because she was playing really solid going into that event. She didn't play great at the US Women's Open, but yeah, as soon as I saw her name at the top of the leaderboard, I was like, if she just gets through Saturday, and if she just gets through 9 holes on Sunday, she's got it, because she at times can play a little defensive. Like, she's almost scared to lose the lead. But yeah, she killed it. Could not have been happier for her. Amazing. She deserves it. And her good friend,
Amazing.
Who used to play on tour, Giulia Molinaro. I'm going to tell you a quick story about Giulia, actually. Really funny story. She grew up in Kenya. She's Italian.
Wow.
But she grew up in Kenya. Her dad was a kite surfer, but now he has like these 3 or 4 villas that like are like incredible. And like Beyonce has stayed there and shit. And like they then take you on safaris, like everything's included. So like massage included, you get butlers, it's one of them kind of. So she grew up with like a butler. Yeah, she grew up with like a butler. And like you can fucking tell, because whenever we stay together, she's about as useful as a chocolate teapot. Like
so she's posh.
She's privileged, I would say. But it's so funny because like, oh, she was a nightmare to stay with. We love her and we love that she's a nightmare, but my God, like getting her to do anything, because obviously if you're in an interview, you kind of got to take roles and stuff to make the clock work, keep things moving at the right pace. And like me and Carlotta would be off late, and Giulia had been she'd finished in the morning, just been sat on her ass, just, I don't know, picking her nose or something. And like we'd get in and be like, is dinner? It's 8:00. She's like, oh, didn't think of that.
I was hoping you guys would figure that out.
I was hoping you guys would grab something. So she's, she's the nicest, most loveliest, like would not say boo to a goose. I actually played a prank on her once because I thought it'd be hilarious.
Say boo to a goose.
No. So
there you go with your British terminology.
There we go. So I just was bored one day and I thought, all right, who can I fuck with today? And I thought, I'm going to fuck Giulia. So I called her and I did that whole, Giulia, can I talk for 5? I've literally got 5 seconds. She's like, whoa, what's up? I said, okay, the police are going to call you. I think they're going to call you in the next 30 minutes. Whatever you say, I was with you last night. And she's like, what? I'm like, just don't ask me. I don't have time right now because I'm in the police station. I said, but whatever they ask you, I was with you all night last night. She's like, what? And she's like, what? No, Mel. I was like, please, Giulia, I've never asked you for anything in my life, but please, just, I was with you. So I put the phone down, right? She then starts calling Carly, like crying. She's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is Mel doing? She's like, Giulia, just lie for it. Just say it. She's like, I can't. I'm going to fucking, like this. Oh, I'll tell you another story, actually. This is even funnier. So okay, so you know when Tiger had that horrific car accident?
The
The one where
one
he spun
in
off.
Southern California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was reading about it and I was like, oh my God, like Tiger's had an accident, blah, blah, blah. And it was talking about his leg and stuff. And I went, oh, I said he lost his ears as well. Like, I don't know why I said it. She was like, what? I went, yeah, he lost both his ears. And she's like, how did he do that? I said, I don't know. He must have just scraped off. Like, she went, oh God, he's going to look so weird without ears. I'm like, Julia, obviously he's not lost his fucking ears. Like, so
Julia seems to be gullible.
Oh, she's so gullible. She's so gullible. I used to fuck with her all the time.
What happened when she found out that the police were not calling for an alibi?
Oh, I had to ring her up because Kylie's like, she's legit crying. Like, you need to, she's actually having a panic attack.
Well, if she grew up privileged, then she knows that she's like, oh, I need to get my lawyer on the phone.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Which one? Oh, dear. Yeah. But I just love messing with Giulia. But I've been like skiing with her and stuff. She's awesome. She's a great girl.
So sorry, I missed the connection between Giulia and Carlotta.
They went to college together. They went to ASU together. Carlotta used to, because Carlotta didn't speak very good English when she went to college. Like when I knew her as like 17, 18, we used to be really close, but we actually didn't know what each other was saying. It was kind of fucking
perfect.
weird.
That's perfect. A great relationship.
Yeah. And so when they first went to college, Giulia really helped Carlotta, like with the translation, because Giulia can speak like fucking 3 languages. Like she's very intelligent.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, but Carlotta used to copy her exams. So like when they used to have a test, she used to copy Giulia, like look over her shoulder and copy her. And this one week she got a better result than Giulia. And she copied Giulia. And Giulia's like never lived it down.
ASU, excellent.
Yes. Yeah.
Academic standards.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so Giulia was there, which was awesome for Carlotta because Giulia now lives in Argentina.
She was at the Win.
She was at the Win because she's here for her KPMG, so she must have just come in a week early. So yeah, the crew's going to get back together this week, hopefully, if I have some time.
Aw,
yeah,
fun,
so it'll be fun.
Yeah, in between all of your being on TV and being a podcaster.
Dude, I have a busy week next week. We're doing live run for 5 hours.
Wow. That's great. That's great that there's so many hours.
Yeah,
Anna Jackson. Who's the crew? Is it you,
me,
Anna,
Paige, and Amanda Bloomhurst?
Oh, great.
Yeah,
that'll be a good
all-girls crew. And then I think like Beth and Nichols are coming in and out and people like that. So
yeah,
it'll be fun. So we have 5 hours the first 2 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it kind of tapers off a bit. We do a couple hours. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's like live runs are quite draining, really. 'Cause it's a lot longer than you think. Because you have to do all the prep and
but sometimes they also just fly by.
Yeah, they
depends.
do. Like once you've done like a couple of 3-4 hour shows and you do an hour show, you're like, whoa, I didn't even get anything in. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be balls hot as well in Dallas, Texas. In Frisco. Yeah, I don't really have like outfits for that, so I'm trying to mix up my outfits, but I need to go shopping. So I'll wear my hair down.
You should. I don't trust you to wear your hair down.
I will. Promise.
Give me false hope.
I will.
Mm-hmm. I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay.
You should ask them to send you or give you a rent the runway code.
I know.
They'll do that.
Okay. That's why.
So then you can just rent a bunch of
stuff,
weather appropriate options.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I'm just trying to help.
I know. I appreciate it. Like, there's some like not girly stuff on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's not like a Girls Are Us on there. There's like very chic, structured solids.
Okay. Perfect.
Are you gonna need me to look through it for you?
Potentially.
Okay.
Potentially.
I will look.
I'll get Ali on it as well.
I'll
get Ali good on it.
Okay. What else do I want to ask you? Oh, June is Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, Mel. Look, yeah, I love all of the Puma stuff that you've been posting.
Do you know what?
All that.
Now you say that.
What?
I have 2 pairs of them shoes, and I actually wanted to give some away. Should I give some away to the listeners?
Okay, yeah. Explain what they are and how they can get it.
So Puma, obviously are sick, and they did like a collaboration for Pride Month, and they sent me a bunch of hats because I said I wanted to give some hats away. So they sent me a bunch of cool hats. And then they sent me two really cool pairs of shoes, and they've actually sent me 2 pairs. So I'm just thinking, I don't know if it was for Carly, but I said, do you mind if I give these away? Because I think that'd be a cool thing to give away. And she was like, yeah. So, because she wears every fucking thing of mine anyway. She doesn't need her own things because she just wears my clothes. We're the exact same size and everything, just not the bra, obviously. Mine's slightly smaller. Just a tiny bit.
Just peanuts on an ironing board over here.
Just my training bar still has gaps in it. So yeah, I mean, they're a UK size 6. I think that's like an 8.5 US. So if anybody would like them, I don't really know.
Let's think about how we want to do it. We can post it on Instagram. You can send me a picture of the shoes, and it can be a comment on the post and maybe reshare it or something on your Instagram story.
Yeah.
So if you comment on the post, reshare it on your Instagram story.
And maybe why do you want them?
Why
do you want them?
Yeah, or why you love us so much.
Oh yeah, that's better. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, why do you love us so much?
Look, let's make this about us.
Yeah.
So why do you love us so much? Why do you love us so much in a comment, and share it on share the post on your Instagram story. That will enter you into the giveaway, and then I will put all of those names into a randomizer, and we'll announce the winner on next week's show.
Yeah.
Or
actually,
the week
weeks.
after.
Yeah,
the week after.
We're very
when
busy.
I'm back from London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I just
How
thought,
does that sound?
Yeah, I was going to give it away, so I thought, why not a better place to do it than the Shushers?
Yeah, the Shushers.
Have I just made that up?
It was Shutalkers or QPs.
The fan base.
I like Shushers. Maybe Shushers.
Okay.
So speaking of it being Pride Month, I saw that you were on Good Game with Sarah Spaun, who is one of our fellow iHeart Women's Podcast Network podcasters. And she asked you a question about a time when you felt you had to be quiet, and it really related back to Pride Month and who you are. So can we share that story in case folks didn't get to hear it there?
So I used to have this sponsor in a country where probably isn't very accepted to be gay. But we had a great relationship. I was playing well with them. I was doing a bunch of cool things with them. And it was at a time in my career where and I feel like a lot of athletes could probably resonate with this. Like it's kind of just like a business exchange. Like there was no kind of personal relationship there. It was just a complete business. Hey, this company wants to sponsor you. I was like, yeah, it's money. Perfect. Right. We were out at dinner. It was at the end of the season. I think I just finished third in my last event of the season. And they invited us out to dinner to then sign the contract for the next year. And I think we just wanted to just meet a few clients. Surprisingly enough, drinks were flowing. And I'd brought my girlfriend of the time along with me. And they kept kind of, whenever I was going to the bathroom, they kept asking her, like, does Mel have a boyfriend? She doesn't talk about private life. Like, is she seeing anyone? And my ex was like, yeah, she's pretty private about it. Like, blah, 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 blah. I'd had a few sherbets, and they just kept kind of asking me. And I just kind of lost my fuse. And I went, I do, yeah, my boyfriend's right there. And her name is so-and-so. And we've been together for like 2 years. And they literally, you could just tell the mood changed. And I was
Were they asking to pry because it seemed like they had their suspcions about the two of you?
No, I actually don't think so.
Or they just were genuinely
just like, hey, do you have a boyfriend? Like, the drinks were just flowing. So I don't mind them asking. I don't know, maybe they did have an inkling. But so I then wake up the next morning and my agent was like, what the fuck did you do last night? And I'm like, what do you mean? It was a good night. And she was like, well, they've just taken away the contract, basically. Like they basically pretty much just like didn't let me sign it that night, which I thought was odd. They said, we'll talk tomorrow. So yeah, they pretty much just like ripped up in front of me. And my agent was
like, this was an important sum of money
for me, at the time.
For a player that's
At the time, like I was playing mainly in Europe, and a lot of my income was actually off course because it's difficult to make money on course in Europe. And so my agent was like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, well, first of all, fuck fuck that. Like, and it was that point
I
where,
don't want to be working with them anyway.
yeah, so I was like, but it was actually real bad for like a year because I then financially struggled really bad. Like I had to I wasn't playing well.
Mm.
I blah blah blah. I was moving to America, I think. Move on a couple years. Okay, yeah, move on a couple years. I then moved to America. Blah 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 blah. And then a couple years after that is when I met Cassette. Okay, so like that's when my mind shift changes. But I don't know why I've gone on a bit of a tangent there. But like I wore a blank hat for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, I think the point is that it was at a time when you probably really could have used that financial support, and
yeah,
then it only created more strife for you. But in the end, you have the last laugh because look at you now,
yeah,
and you don't have to work with a company or
yeah.
organization or people that aren't gonna love you for who you are.
And then quickly after that, exactly, one of my best friends, Molly Gallatin, was like, "Hey, there's a company called Athlete Ally, and they really want to do a story on you about being gay and coming out. Like, would you do it?" And it was kind of that was like 2018, and it was kind of still a bit. Even then, I wasn't even that long ago, but even then, it was like, oh,
2018.
yeah,
Oh my God.
And so I was like, she says, honestly, Mel, like I wouldn't like throw you in the fire. Like I think it's going to be awesome. Like I really do. I think that
Mm-hmm.
now moving forward, at least you can align yourself with like companies that or brands that align with you. And so I did my coming out story, which I wasn't really sure if I should have done it or not, but I was kind of comfortable in my own skin at that point. And what else did I have to lose? Like I didn't have any sponsors anyway. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do
Mm-hmm.
it. And so I
Yeah,
think
you're like, my
that,
hat's blank anyway.
yeah, I'm wearing a blank hat anyway. And it had a really positive feedback. And just going on Pride Month, like people are still, I still even get asked, like, why did you feel the need to? Why can't you just live your life? And I'm like, because for me, it's about representation. And I'm sorry, but like in our community, we still have to be very loud to be heard and protect ourselves and respect the people that have gone before us and what they've had to sacrifice. Like we still have to keep that battle going. I still think it's fucked up that we have to fight for love at this point. But yeah, so that's really kind of the story of it. And I never had representation growing up. So I just didn't ever really see anybody that I could kind of look up to and go, oh, she's very, she's confident in herself. She's
successful.
She's got a beautiful
living
family.
a normal, happy life.
Yeah, normal life.
Yeah. Like,
and so for me, it's
everybody deserves
important.
that level of happiness and love and
Yeah.
acceptance. And like, who cares?
Who cares?
Just
It doesn't
be
affect you.
happy.
It literally doesn't affect you. Like, but it will affect me if things got turned a different way. So it's actually funny when I did that coming out story, as we're talking about Pride, I was so fucking nervous about going to the golf club the next day. I just moved to Jupiter and it's Southern Florida. Like I didn't know, I loved it down there, but I just didn't know. And this fucking old boy comes up to me and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And he says, hey, I read your article. And he was like 17. I was like, oh, okay. And he says, I was like, where's this going to go? And he says, I have a gay granddaughter. And he says, and reading your article made me realize like what an asshole I've been. And he's like,
Aww.
I really appreciate you saying that. And like, I literally called her this morning. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. So that's why I did it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Look at you changing lives.
No, not really. But
yeah, no, actually, really.
No.
I mean, we say it in jest and we joke around a lot, but that it actually is so major.
Well,
it's huge. It's
important
like
to me.
A life's purpose fulfilled.
It's important to me. And I've had a lot of
Rightfully
friends
so.
that have like, their families have turned their back on them and stuff. And I had a lot of stuff being thrown at them. And it's, I just think the one battle we should not be fighting in this world is love. And that's just something that I've always believed in. So, oh, don't
put it on a t-shirt. I'm going to start crying. Oh my God.
Oh, dear.
This became a really emotional podcast.
Well, it's Pride Month.
Jesus.
It's important. So yeah. But so that's the story. So yeah. And we still get comments now, obviously, but it just, we don't care. They're not part of our lives, so it doesn't matter.
No, you know what? I love when people make comments because then you're like, you can immediately write that person off. Be like, all right, well, you suck. So, bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Thank you for self-identifying as a hater that we never.
I know. It was actually funny. I was talking to Ashley Harris about it when I did that business summit speaking, and she's
Mhm.
like, she says, well, yeah. She says they obviously get comments all the time, like inappropriate comments. Like you can imagine her and Sophia Bush, right? Like, I'm like,
Mm.
fucking hell. Like, why can't people just leave people alone? Like,
On
just,
that level too, when you've got paparazzi and media following you, and not the good kind of media,
yeah.
the exploitative,
hmm
just cruel, crazy stuff. And
So
the British press in particular is
savage.
savage.
Yeah, like the Sun, the
Wild.
Daily Mail. Yeah, savage. Absolutely savage. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, this is completely off topic. What do
Go.
you think about the royal family? I've always wanted to ask you, I keep forgetting.
What do you want me to know? What do you want to know about it?
Well, I just want to know what you, as a regular person in the UK, think about the royal family and Megxit and
Okay.
Harry and all this.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, is this too much of a departure from the
No,
emotional
no,
conversation
not
we
at
were just
all.
having?
Listen, I'm very patriotic. I love the royal family. Like I grew up like my mum was obsessed with Princess Diana, like obsessed.
Aw.
Um, like I think it's listen, I know there's a lot of cracks in it, but I think having a royal family is what makes Britain so special. Um,
Mhm.
and Harry was probably my favorite. Um,
Yeah.
I totally get everything at the start. I really do. And I don't blame him at all. Like, I don't blame that he wanted to step away. Um, but then I feel like it's a bit like there's a big contradiction in making money off that. And
Mhm.
like I watched her new series and I was a massive fan of Meghan as well. Like I thought she was gonna be unreal for the royal family. Um,
She would have been.
she
Yeah.
would have been, but I think the way that they've gone about it now is just really dark. And even if it was just a normal family, I don't feel like you should shit on your family like that. Like there's people in my family I don't like, but I would not
Mhm.
publicly shit on them.
All right.
That went
Well,
really
this has been
quick.
from the US Open to the British family. Do you have a shush of the week before we get off the air here?
Ooh, hmm. Do you know what really irritates me?
What?
And I don't know if this is a British thing. If I order a Guinness, I want it in a Guinness glass. If I order a Stella, I want it in a Stella glass. I don't want it in different glasses. And it really irritates me because
Mm.
someone poured me a Guinness the other night and it was not in a Guinness glass. And
What kind of glass was it in?
just like a plain pint glass. And doesn't
Oh,
taste right. It doesn't taste right over here
no.
anyway. But it irritates me when it's not in the correct glass. Like that is one thing that British
It's
people are
amateur hour.
very passionate about. If you have a Moretti, it's in a Moretti glass, you know? So that's my shush of the week.
I think that's a great shush. My shush of the week is I had an interview with Jason Day, and the last question I asked him if he was repping Pittsburgh because his golf bag is yellow and black, and he was wearing this steel colored outfit. He
Mm-hmm.
kind of laughed and haha, it was a football related answer. So NBC Sports Sunday Night Football clipped it and put it up on Instagram. And those accounts are much wider and whatever. So this guy comments, and he must be British. He said, "Seriously, what is with all the stupid questions that have fuck all to do with golf from reporters who know fuck all about golf? Bloody hell." And I clicked on his profile and it says, "Girl dad."
Oh, fantastic. The classic.
So good. So shout out, you little troll, man. Actually, shush to you. I'm sure your daughters would be thrilled with how you're treating women on the internet. So that's my shush.
Very good, shush. Well done, Kira. You stick up for
Thank you.
yourself, girl. You keep being
Thank
you,
you.
Kira. Don't
Right?
you change.
Well, I don't want to do it on Instagram because then I give him
Obviously. So now we're
attention
doing it on here.
online. So, well, yeah, but I doubt that he listens.
He
And if he
might.
does, then great.
Yeah,
I love
great.
that for our
Yeah,
stats.
perfect.
It's great. Every listener counts. Every download counts.
Oh, brilliant.
But yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Have a fun
great
week in London.
Texas.
Thank you.
Thank
You're in
you.
London and I'm in fucking Texas. So that will be fun. It'll be fun. I'm gonna get to this good crew, isn't it? So me and Anna Jackson back together again.
Yeah. Congratulations again to JJ Spaun for winning the US Open and
Carlota Ciganda for getting it done after 9 fucking years. Well done, Chiggy Bar.
on the LPGA.
Well done,
Yep.
Chiggy.
All
All
right.
right. Bye.
Bye.